Hi, I'm Naughtysis from Guilds Are Serious, and today I'll be explaining the Hodir fight in 10-man Ulduar. Hodir is a heal-intensive fight, and so for this video, we used 4 healers and 1 main tank. An off-tank is not needed at any point during the Hodir fight. Before you start the fight, it is important to make sure that each raid member has at least 1 piece of frost resist gear on, as there will be a high amount of AoE frost damage during the course of the fight. It is best to use only 1 piece of frost resist gear and make sure that it does not break any set bonuses that will cause a loss of DPS or healing per second. Although it is possible to only have 1 piece of frost resist gear on the main tank, for this video, to make it easier on the healers, we used full frost resist gear for our main tank. Hodir has various frost damage causing abilities, but the first and most important I will explain here is Biting Cold. Much like Karastraza's ability in Nexus, Biting Cold will stack a debuff on all raid members over time, which causes frost damage. The damage will increase as you gain more stacks. There are 2 ways to prevent Biting Cold from stacking. The first is to move around much like in Karastraza's fight. The other, and more profitable way to prevent this, is to stand next to a Toasty of Fire, which is dropped by one of the NPCs that you break out. I will explain these NPCs later in the fight. For the purposes of making the fight easier for our healers and ranged DPS, we put a star over one of our raid members. The person with the star over their head was told to stand next to Toasty Fires whenever possible. This person, if stood next to, would allow all the ranged DPS and healers to gain this buff. For the melee DPS and the tank, movement was pretty much constant throughout the fight. The 2 reasons for this constant movement were Starlight and Snowfall. Starlight, as its name suggests, causes the beams of light that you see in this video. Melee DPS must stand in these beams of light because it gives them a very large haste buff. Whenever possible, the ranged DPS should stand in them too if they are still in range of Toasty Fires. Snowfall, on the other hand, drops snow on raid members and causes a large amount of damage if you are standing in the area of effect. An incoming snowfall is indicated by these smaller blue runes that you see on the ground. It is very important for every single member of your raid to have displaying textures turned on in your options so that you can see these runes on the ground. Larger runes indicate flash freezes, as you just saw there. When you see such a rune, the larger blue runes, you must get out of them because it will cause a serious amount of damage to anyone who stands in their area of effect when the snow drops. However, unlike the other runes, they will cause a pile of snow to drop along with the damage that is done in their area of effect. All raid members must stand in this pile of snow, otherwise they will be hit by the flash freeze. Should any raid member be hit by the flash freeze, they will be entombed in ice, and they must be broken out of this ice as soon as possible, much like the first fight in Utgard Keep. Flash freeze will also freeze all 4 of the NPCs in a tomb of ice. Much like the beginning of this fight, you must break these NPCs out, as they will not be able to cast buffs and helpful abilities on the raid, including Toasty Fires, Starfall, and all other helpful buffs. Once all raid members and NPCs have been broken out of ice tombs, it is important for all DPS to once again focus on Hodir. At random times during the encounter, Hodir will target 1 raid member and freeze them in place, along with anyone else in 10 yards of that player. For this reason, it is important for all DPS and healers, as well as melee DPS, to use the /distance function of deadly boss mods to avoid being frozen along with other people. This freeze ability is a very simple ability and can be dispelled as well as broken out of via trinkets or any other PvP related ability such as Hand of Freedom. In this fight, one of the paladin healers was told to focus on only dispelling people when he was not healing main tank or other people. The final and most dangerous ability of Hodir is his Frozen Blows. When Frozen Blows is active, Hodir will deal 70% less physical damage to the main tank. However, in addition to his physical damage, he will also deal 31,000 frost damage to the main tank with each attack on 10-man Ulduar, and 40,000 additional damage on 25-man Ulduar. Additionally, Frozen Blows will cause a large amount of AoE damage on every raid member. This is the reason we used frost resist gear during this fight. Thanks for watching the Guilds Are Serious guide to 10-man Hodir, and remember, Ulduar is serious business.